Hi, I'm Nur Afrina Iffah binti Muhammad Sahrul Anwar. The title of my story is The Glass Slipper. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother and two stepsisters. Poor Cinderella had to work hard all day long so the others could rest. Light up the fire, cook the meals, and even kept the fire going. The poor girl could not stay clean from all the ashes and cinders by the fire. One day, big news came to town. The king and queen were going to have a ball. It was time for the prince to find a bride. All the young ladies in the land were invited to come. They were wild with joy. They would wear their most beautiful gown and fix their hair extra nice, hoping the prince would like them. Cinderella watched her stepsisters getting ready to the ball. She smiled to herself. Imagine she could go to the ball too. Her stepmother saw her smiling and she got scolded for that smile. A few moments later, their fine carriage came to the door. Cinderella watched them go with a very sad feeling. "Oh, how I wish to go to the ball," said Cinderella. Then poof! Suddenly, in front of her was a fairy. She felt pity on her. The fairy knew what she must do. "Listen carefully, my child. Be a dear and get a pumpkin from the garden, will you? After that, please bring me the mice inside the trap. And lastly, the 6 lizards behind the water pot will do," said the fairy. "But what are those things have to do with me? Go to the ball?" asked Cinderella. "Ha ha 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 ha. That's what I call a recipe to a ball. Now move, move," said the fairy. Cinderella gathered all the things needed. The fairy skillfully turned a pumpkin into a huge goat. It was gorgeous. The mice had turned into 6 strong horses, and the 6 lizards had changed into handsome footmen. "Wow, I can't believe my eyes," said Cinderella. "It's your turn now," said the fairy. The fairy tapped her wand on Cinderella's shoulder. In a blink of the eyes, Cinderella was dressed in a beautiful blue gown. Her hair was set up high on her head inside a golden band. Cinderella could not believe her eyes. She's admiring herself in the mirror. "Go, my child, go meet your prince. But there's one thing you must know. All this lasts only to midnight. Tonight, at stroke of midnight, it will all be over. Everything will go back to how it was before. Then I must be sure to leave the ball before midnight. Bye," said Cinderella. At the ball, the prince saw Cinderella step into the hall. "She's the most beautiful woman that I have ever laid my eyes on," said the prince. He walked towards Cinderella and asked her to dance with him. They danced all night until Cinderella heard a sound. Dong! Cinderella looked up. Dong! Went the clock again. Cinderella looked up again. "Oh my! It's almost midnight. I must go." She ran to the stairs. She ran and ran as one glass slipper fell off her foot. But Cinderella kept running. "Wait!" called the prince. He picked up her glass slipper and rushed out to the door. The prince determined to find Cinderella. From hut to hut, house to house went the prince. No one could fit the glass slipper. At last, the prince came to Cinderella's house. The stepmother hid Cinderella in her room and only let her 2 daughters to try the slipper. The sisters tried and tried until they felt exhausted. Suddenly, Cinderella walked out from the room. The prince invited Cinderella to try the slipper. It fit perfectly. Then, from her pocket, Cinderella took out something. It was the other glass slipper. "I knew it. You are the one." The prince took Cinderella to the castle. He looked Cinderella into her eyes. I have found you, he said. And I have found you, said Cinderella. And so Cinderella and the prince were married, and they lived happily ever after. Thank you.